Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders, thanks to Sportsbet. I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Warn Dogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator, boys.
Boys, we've had a massive few days.
It's
been an
few days.
exciting time,
Sure
filled with fantasy fun.
Something a little bit different for this podcast. We're actually on location
on the
today.
road.
We're in Perth. So thank you very much to Varsity for having us tonight. And got a few legends in the crowd. G'day, legends.
Hey, legends.
So we'll go through what we'd normally do when we talk
normal
about
podcast.
after round.
Exactly.
However, it's a little bit different to what we often do because we've actually had a little bit of time to die down after the weekend. And Roy, you're a little bit grumpy, but not as grumpy as you could have been.
No, I'm all right.
You're all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good, because you weren't real happy this afternoon.
No, I wasn't, but I came good. So are you segueing into the scores, dog? Is that
Let's
what
do
you're
that.
asking
Yes.
for?
Let's go.
All right, so I had a 22.86. So once again, just solid without being outstanding. It was enough to improve my ranking slightly.
I had a big one.
Did you?
23.78. Now, it wasn't
Talking
as
about your head, mate.
Smug.
It wasn't as good as what I would have loved it to have been, mostly because of what happened at the end of the day.
You know what?
Didn't
What?
he get sulky?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
game.
I was sulky because I had to sit next to Calvin.
No.
That was the worst part about it.
I'm going to give you a compliment.
He's been kissed all weekend.
Oh, yes.
He has one guy that just is just okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the tears came out,
No.
the dimple went
Because
away.
I didn't have the guy that was really good.
You are
No.
legit.
Oh, is that what it was? It
Yeah.
wasn't so much your player bad.
No.
He's because he didn't have someone else who's
He's
good.
hat dog.
It was watching Jack Steele able to do whatever
He was
the hell
amazing.
he wanted
It's
to.
not like you didn't see it coming, dog. You've been talking about getting him in for weeks.
I think if we go back to every single podcast, I think he was in my trade plans
I
every
think,
week for the
I
last
think
3
you are
weeks.
right.
He can get a hat.
No, I can't.
Yes,
Dog,
you can.
he's well and truly
You're a
within
hat
I didn't
dog.
move up in the
distance.
rankings, so I'm 647th
What?
overall now.
As a matter of fact,
Jeez.
I'd say it's a choke if he doesn't get one.
I agree. If you don't win a hat
You
from
would.
here, that is a full-blown choke.
Calvin, can you win a hat after
No,
dropping another poor score and
Jeez.
dropping in rankings?
Massive drop, my old cow over here.
So aren't I in the vest?
No, I'm in the vest.
Calvin,
Well, where is it? I've been made wear
Should
that
be
thing
wearing that.
all
Yeah,
week.
we don't do it on podcast, though.
Because
thing with the podcast,
I was made put it on a Saturday afternoon, mate.
that's a visual thing. This is like an audio
Oh,
thing.
yeah, okay.
So-
Well, it's good for one.
Anyway, no, not good for me. I had a 22.38 and, oh, jeez.
Was that a drop? Was that a slight drop?
That's a big drop, Roy. Yeah, I struggled.
You had
All
some
right.
bad trades.
Are we going good or bad to start with?
You choose.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
All right, let's go with a positive. I'll start with a really simple one, and that was Rory Laird as my vice-captain, scoring
You're welcome.
138. Well, no, Calvin.
You're
you
welcome,
said
mate.
Mills would be better.
Do you have meals?
In fact,
Do you have Mills?
Laird was 20 points better than that.
Do you have meals?
No.
Okay, you're welcome. Jeez.
That's a fair call.
Hard work to
He's
actually
looked after you.
pick the best player in the competition.
he's only going at
He is
137
by
since
far
he's
the
by.
best player
Oh,
in the
wow.
competition.
Has he not just set a record for the most 120s in a row?
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
he's hit
7 120 pluses in a row. No one's ever done that before. We've had
Wow.
a few sixes, which the pigs have been involved in.
Snout him.
He
He's
might
got to
be-
be snouted.
well,
Not yet.
But
Not
he's
yet.
finding new ways
Right.
to put
I
his
am
little
leading.
trotter up.
I am leading the Laird snout motion.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
He
really silly
needs to
thing.
be snouted, and I'm calling it next week, dog.
You
Snout
just,
him.
no, you just want your crows to be relevant for something there, Calvin.
No, I tell you what, he is ticking some serious boxes.
Too right he is.
My +3, after, I don't know, how many times have I sent a message
Oh
through the
my.
footy record to this guy?
Yeah.
He obviously finally saw it, but Cripper responded with my 5th rocket in 5 weeks.
That's
5 weeks, sorry, and he's had, 120?
Yeah, nice to get a ton out of him.
God, wasn't it?
You wouldn't trade him, though, would you?
Well, that's the thing.
Yes, you would.
Because
Calvin
Cal's
did this
scale
week.
of hardness.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't usually pay much attention
How
to it.
good is it?
But Cripper's run was all green.
I know.
All green.
Yep.
What did you do with him?
I traded him because he hasn't hit a ton in 5 weeks.
Gasp.
Has not hit a ton in 5 weeks,
But
Roy.
his scale, you said life is the scale.
Life is the scale. You're dead right. However, Lloyd, 40 points worse. Oh, my goodness. Anyway,
I was going to step in and tell you how dumb that was, but I needed to get out of that vest.
yeah,
so
but
bad.
I don't want.
I told you to get Aaron Hall, didn't I?
He did say that.
Good bloke.
Yeah. My +3 is going to go to Maximus for his 133. Finally,
back.
he's
He's back. Yeah.
And Roy, I'd love to see where he sits in the rolling now. Surely he's up there.
There may have been a shuffle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
We've
based
got
on
an
that.
updated rolling for finals because we are heading into finals.
Hell yeah.
Before we talk about that, let's get into our -3.
Oh, Spewer!
was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Now, when we all have the same guy, we check our notes and it's all the same guy.
Yeah,
it becomes a collective
It does.
-3. Do you want to share who it was?
Darsol Cameron.
It certainly
wasn't
was
good.
the dust.
It
What
was.
did he do? We've been
Holy
talking about.
He had 4 touches.
come
4 touches.
We've been going, we can keep riding him until
Yep.
Grundy's actually back in that side. Then it's abort, get out,
Yep.
that sort of thing. But no,
And
Grundy's
it
still
has
not there.
been tracking that way slowly but surely.
Mate.
And then the Grundy thing's been just in the wind. Now, this is disaster.
It is.
That you cannot be
34.
taking someone capable of a 34 into
34.
finals.
So he hasn't
34.
gone under 80 since round 6.
No.
Like, he's been so good.
Very good.
However, 4 touches.
He has to be punished.
Now
for
The thing
that.
is, though,
time to go,
The
isn't
thing
it?
is, though, so Mason Cox had 24 hit-outs. He had 10.
He's doing way too much rucking.
He
Mason.
is.
Yeah. No, he's gone. So he's
So,
our collective -3.
When we do a collective one, we still give one out.
Of course we do. We love to kick people while they're down.
100%.
Don't you worry about that.
Now, my side was pretty good, so it was hard to find one. But I'm going to give it to
Oh, hear that?
Yeah.
Andy Brayshaw.
Didn't pull the smug T-shirt out today, did
Andy Brayshaw for his 98, but it's probably more about Longmuir and the rest of the team not letting him back on. Like, Freo would have won that game if he was out there.
Not
98.
letting him back on. Did you think the coach was up there saying, no, don't let Brayshaw
Well, they
go
would have
back on the
done whatever
ground?
they could. They would have just grabbed anyone off the sidelines if they were able to and put him back on. So it's got a 98.
98, and you give him your -3.
Well, that's how good my
See,
team
this
is.
is
Cal.
why you should win a hat.
That's exactly why you win
If you're giving out -3s to a 98,
The -3 is not having the ability to have Jack Steele in my side, I think.
he's going to lose sleep over
I
this.
am.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my God,
I'm
that's
not
so
going
smart.
to lose any sleep
All right,
tonight
my
on the plane.
-3 is a guy that I want to trade out that bad, Petrarca. All the time, every year, I'm like, I just don't think
I hear
he's
you.
built for fantasy.
No.
But I watched him a couple of weeks where he was just amazing, and I was like, nah, I need to eat my words.
Yep.
Now I'm back to wishing I had have listened to my pre-season notes because he's been horrible,
Yep.
and this week was beyond even what he's been doing.
Agree.
It reminded me of that 40 he had a few weeks ago.
I'm going with Mitch Duncan for mine. So
Oh, geez, you've been up and
60
about with him.
Well, I have been because he's been so good. 62 is what he scored. He scored 45 in time on the other day.
Yes.
And he scored 62.
Yep.
And
That
now
is
it's all
just-
downhill because Tom Stewart's back next week.
Oh, he's
isn't
got to go. He should be
He's
my
gotta
trade
go.
players. Yeah, he's gone.
You're trading him out.
I'm not putting up with that dog. You know me.
As if. Now, you know what he missed? He missed his Mitch Junkin time.
He did.
There was none for him.
Yeah.
So he's been saving himself in time on.
Yeah.
And there was none of that available.
All right. It was a big weekend for a lot of coaches. So 2,556 won the week, James's team, J-Mart. But looking at the top, though, Matt Mottram, who's been leading for bloody forever, basically,
How's he
had
looking?
2,500.
Wow.
So he ranked 26th for the week. Like, that's a
Going
huge
into it, leading it,
Yeah,
and
if
came
you are
26th
coming
for the
first,
week. That's
a
massive.
chance to win the Hilux or pole position to win the
That is
Hilux.
huge.
Yeah. But second place, Sharkers, who's been nipping on the heels, scored 1 point less for the week, 24.99.
Oh, my God, they're good.
There's
The boys
90
at the
points.
top are on fire.
That's ridiculous.
90 points between them, so it's going to be very interesting to still watch that over the next 4 weeks as we get towards the Toyota Hilux. But for those people gunning for the hat,
Like
at
you,
the moment,
Warren. You're a hat dog. Come on, let's go.
100th place was Cheap Kick Boss, Matt's team there. So that's sitting at 100th at the moment. Now, 40,931 points is what you need to
Right.
have a hat at the
Where
minute.
are you a chance?
I'm a fair way behind that.
Are you really?
Yeah, like I'm 500 points or so.
But you're
behind that.
coming like a freight train.
Nah. Well, this is the thing that I looked at. So the hat, like the score difference from last week to this week was 2,358 points. I've only made 20 on that. I need to be making 100 a week on that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
He has looked at it.
I have.
Oh, yes.
Which is exactly what you needed to do to hold 500th spot. So team there, Aiden, I think I taught him actually. All I do is win. He is sitting there at the moment and 40,494 points. He's at 500. So that's my goal, to finish in the top 500. That'll be a nice thing to be able to do.
That's a good season, dog.
It is.
Yeah, that would be good.
Kicking goals. Well done, mate.
All right, and Sons of Wilson sitting in 1,000th spot there with 40,265. Cal, you could still get there.
I hope so, mate. I've been there, but blew that. So, yeah.
You can get back there.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy Podcast.
All right, bit of news. Few injuries, which could be a bit of a concern. And Calvinator, you talk about
You don't get one, so that's fine.
You might trade out your Mitch Duncan, but you don't want to trade out any healthy bodies because you might have a Trelaw issue. So he was subbed out at the end of the game. So he had a calf drama, which was happening through the game. He has a few dramas.
He's a new Dangerfield with this stuff.
Too right he is.
It's a bit of look at me, isn't it?
Yeah,
bit of me time.
Yeah.
He came off and went back on. They were like working on him and stuff and went back on, but he just couldn't go, is basically what they said.
Couldn't go.
So no acceleration there, Calvin. You've had a few calf issues this week as well. haven't you?
No accelerate. That's ridiculous. He is such a drama field. That is a joke.
Anyway,
he plays.
So you think he'll play after being subbed out at the end of the game again? This has to stop.
I agree, but he plays.
Well, we will be without Dan Houston next week, so he was subbed out with concussion for 42, and quite a few good coaches have him as well. So that was a bit of a hit for those guys having him. Daniel Rich was concussed as well, so another frustrating one, especially in draft, because he's been when he's playing, he's been a great draft pick.
He's been great,
where a lot of coaches might have faded him a little bit, but he's come out and been pretty good.
He has been good.
Nat Fyfe, he's got a hamstring. They're calling it a normal hamstring, so that could be the end of the season for him. He hasn't been great anyway.
No, he hasn't.
So the issue is, you might have picked him up off the waivers in draft, but anyway, it looks like he's missing for the rest of it. Now, an interesting one here was Aaron Hall was a late in
this
for
is
Larky.
weird. It's weird.
So I think North Melbourne just had their swagger that they won and they made no changes. They just wanted to do that for the first time this year.
Write that.
They don't get to do that.
No. Anyway, so he
well,
came
they
in,
didn't, did they?
And he came in and did all right. 30 disposals, 7 marks, and 122 points.
So he wasn't in their best
he
22.
Selected.
Yeah. Come on,
that's a joke.
give me strength.
Now from
Mind
that game
games.
too is McGuinness. His tagging jobs are pretty good. That's something to flag, Cow, I reckon, with your captains as you start thinking about that.
I got it, mate. I'm all over it.
He held Simpkin to 52.
Yeah,
so,
Simpkin's not a captain option, mate.
Yeah.
But
tags are out and about there. Like Dawson copped it early as well and was struggling. That was with my mate Clark, right?
Yes, he needed a complete role change to.
He's still
At
turned up.
least he turned up.
That
was good when they switched that up. Shane McAdam, he was out in that Swans and Crows game there with a corky. A lot of players are getting subbed out with corkies these days. That's another one.
It's a bit soft.
So, he was subbed out at quarter time. Now, Reece Stanley, he was subbed with a bit of a knee. Interesting they had Shannon Neal as their sub, like a big tall bloke. And did they know that he was going to hurt himself?
Was he under a cloud?
Are you calling challenge, dog?
Oh, it's just cats. Chris Scott does those things,
fair.
doesn't he? Now, Roy, you were devastated when I was watching this with you before we went in to watch the Eagles and Saints game. Walshy.
It looked bad,
It did
and
look
I was
bad.
thinking about the sin straight away.
That was sin all day.
Obviously, Walshy in the preseason had his syndesmosis surgery, and his ankle roll looked bad. And he's a tough little nugget.
He is.
And he needed to be helped off. Obviously got it jabbed. Came back on and dominated.
He
It was amazing coming back on after that, but that's going to be one fat ankle.
It is,
I have slight concerns because he's high on my trade target radar at the moment, especially with his run of attractive matchups. So Walsh is a close watch on that ankle.
On Sunday afternoon as well there, Mason Redmond copped a heavy knock, 42 points he had. He's been a popular player
been
because
good.
of his form. So he's gone with 143, 87, 85, 125. Over 1,000 coaches brought him in last week as well. So, because he might have been an option for Hewitt for
Of
course.
Yes, people would have definitely done it for you.
Now, a couple of others there from this game that we went to watch, we've just come out of that one too, is that Billings was subbed out on a donut. It basically wasn't even on the ground. I can't even remember seeing him on the ground. So it must have been like super early in the
Really
game.
early.
Like 1% time on ground type stuff, Cal.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be an issue there with some sort of soft tissue thing. Tim Kelly wasn't subbed out for that 17.
I know.
That is just unbelievable.
17!
What do you have, 4 touches?
He copped it. And
Windhager.
yeah, he's a good player.
We always say you have to be a good player if your scoring starts with a -3.
Yeah.
It's like a big deep hole. It's bigger than a 3-point hole.
Agreed.
And he could not dig his way out of it.
And Jake Gresham, bit of a knee to look at there because I know a lot of coaches have him as a forward.
Yep.
Probably a good excuse to say
It's
goodbye.
time.
I think so.
Yeah, agree.
A couple of Magoo's news just to make mention of. Josh Kennedy for the Swans, and I'm probably just thinking of this because he's sitting on a bench in a draft league for me.
Oh,
He had
it
100
wouldn't be about dog and
but he had 144, and I thought, he probably doesn't get back in even because the Swans are just flying.
Yeah.
But he's doing everything he can there. 37 disposals, 5 marks and 8 tackles. Our mate Jackson Haitley had 114, so he's racking up. But the one out of the sandful that I wanted to mention here was Sam Hayes. So he had 103 with 27 hit-outs, but Teakle also played there, so that was his first game back. And they talked about him being available last week.
Right.
So he scored 81 with 23 hit-outs. So they shared that ruck between them, so they had 50 hit-outs. Massive.
It's big. I
what he
just wanted
does.
to rewind there for a second. You spoke about Josh Kennedy being on a bench in one of your draft. Is that the draft? Is that the one you played me in this week?
Yeah,
draft?
how'd that go?
Oh, yeah, I got you by 20.
You got him.
20. I haven't even had a chance to look at that
No,
yet.
I knew you hadn't. That's why I was so happy. I couldn't wait to drop it on you. So, yeah.
Well done.
So
Congratulations. The bad thing about our draft league is that you have to organise the trip again next
Yeah,
year.
but it was such a good one that I did last year. I might
it
as well
was
do it
actually
again.
really good.
I had Jack Steele, captain.
Oh, of course you did. So you only beat me by 20 and you had Jack Steele captain.
Yeah, I had 3
So I
guys
think I
have
had
30,
a sub-100
including Danger.
Oh, yeah, he was not
I
good.
had Danger and Darcy Cameron and still beat him.
Oh, Warren, have a good look at yourself, mate. Jeez.
You can watch all the VFL and Waffle matches along with live stats on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app.
Hi guys, Sarah Ollie here from the AFL Exchange podcast. You can grab this show every Monday night with myself, Riley Beveridge and Cal Toomey. Plus catch the brand new Fresh Drop on Thursday mornings with Exchange Extra. We are delving into all the things that matter in the footy world, so join us as we get to the bottom of the issues the fans want answered on field and off field. The serious and also the not so serious stuff. That's AFL Exchange. Find us wherever you listen to your podcasts and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
All right, let's get into our issues that we're facing this week. And the biggest one is that in default leagues, so if you've got a final 8, most leagues will be starting their finals. So if you don't know how it works, you can just basically click on your leagues and see what it is structured like. But it's the same as how the AFL runs. So if you're in the top 4, you get that double chance, which is super important because in this world of fantasy this year, if you're having a week off, it could be very, very handy, especially with any of these forced trades that we're rolling with. If you're ranked 5th to 8th, that's where it is elimination from here on. But it's very important too to note that the Tinhead Cup's there as well. For those in the bottom half of your ladder, that's there for your mates, like our mate Ruz.
Gives you something to play for.
It does.
He can play in that. But we're all in our Bacon Cup final,
Yes,
so it's very important.
I'd be down the
Roy, you're in 5th.
elimination. Yeah,
Cow and I, 2 and 3, play each other this week.
We all know how that ends.
Exactly.
I am
the guy that's
I am so
going for
gone.
the hat.
I'm gone.
So that's how that is. Because you've got forced trades as well, Calvin.
I do.
Hopefully, anyway. Right.
Jeez.
We did give our -3 there to Darcy Cameron. So we've talked about how we could ride him through until Grundy was back. That's just now game over, isn't it?
Well,
It's gotta
that's
be.
very us to call game over and react and go off our head about it. But then, if it's desperate times, you think, what? He hasn't gone under 80 since round 6.
Yeah.
Do you give the dude a week?
Well, 34 though, Roy.
Yeah, it's beyond a joke, and he deserves rage trading
Yeah.
multiple times. You reverse
Yeah.
it, and you keep doing. You send a very clear message. But it's he deserves a chance, does he?
I don't know. The fact that they were using Mason Cox in the middle more than what he was.
And that is just
And
beyond bad.
I think they'll
isn't it?
fast track Grundy now because
Yeah,
they
I
were
agree.
talking about how he would play VFL and they didn't have a VFL game this
because
week.
they've talked him up, and he's been part of this massive winning streak.
Yeah.
I think they don't get him out of the team.
No, maybe not, but Grundy's not just going to play forward like it's
can't
been
play all
talked
He
about.
had
Three of them,
4
can you?
touches.
You can't play all 3 of them.
You don't. And that's why he gets the boot next week.
He dropped 44k this week,
Yeah.
and his break-even is now 136, so his money's sliding, and there are ruck options to get.
There's people with a few issues. I've already had people hitting me up on the tweets about it. Could play Cully in that position where he has been for players?
Geez, you could.
He tackles hard.
He does. He
It's
does.
like at this time of the year, you don't want to be playing rookies, especially we've already got Dacos. You don't want to be taking your team backwards. But is he like a safe 70? He looked amazing out there today.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is a safe 70.
That's very interesting. And it's part of that whole Darcy conversation at the moment. It's a problem.
Agree.
It is a problem. So with Rucks then, what would we be looking at picking up?
I don't want to
Max
say it.
had
No,
133, Cal.
There's
I know.
multiple options in the
There
ruck
is
department,
a
as
big
usual.
option, and it's called Juicy Brucey. One.
He was good.
Mate,
He
you
was
can't
so
do it.
He had
good.
105, with a slow start.
And he hurt a couple of people.
Yeah, of course he did.
So you'll make 86k by doing that move.
You go to Juice. Juice is back. 750k. That's all he is.
How-
It is a legit play.
Only if you've given up.
No, not even that. Mate, I am considering the
And
Juice this week.
what chance is he to continue for the rest of the season and not miss a game?
Did we not sit here?
There's
Not here.
4 weeks.
Did we not sit
4 weeks.
last time we did a podcast? And
4
I
weeks
say,
to get injured, suspended,
No.
form.
I was worried about how he was going to break some players out
Same.
there too.
Juice.
He landed on Walsh
I
there
saw
when he
that.
came back on.
Oh my God, I was
That
nearly on
wasn't
the
good.
next flight.
Juice will average 100 from here on in for the rest of the year.
He might average 100, but will he play
Over
every
Yes,
game?
he's
to
only
do
got
that?
4 to go. The Juice will play. Roy,
I think you need to do it. If you could somehow knock him off this week
having
in a
Juicy.
finals game
With Juice. Done.
yeah, that would make my season.
Done. The Juice is coming after you, dog.
Don't
You're
do the
gone.
Juice. There's multiple options though. Like you said, Big Max.
Yeah. And speaking
He
of,
bought his hands, not the dinner plates.
Yeah.
So that was a big
that
thing.
helps. Yeah, it does.
Marshall, he was good
Yeah,
enough.
so he got
and-
a ton.
Yeah, and he even sort of rested at the end of the game, and
Yep.
he still hit up that 108. So he's an option as well. Timmy, he looked
of
all right
course.
too. So there is, it's so random that there is so many options in two spots that we've struggled to fill
I agree.
every week, and now there's multiple options. But yep, there they are, dog.
so we are down to our. Actually, one more there. Cripper. We're all in on trading him out. Calvin.
So kissed you blokes. That's a
gun.
joke.
I was
No.
never doing it. It was a rocket.
Has not hit 100 in 5 weeks.
Did you not look at his draw ahead?
I make his draw, mate.
I heard
do
about the scale of hardness.
It's great
It was
scale.
all full of green.
And
You
that's
know
what
what,
I
though?
was clinging to when I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, Cripper's right. He's
You know
back.
what? It just proves that I'm right again. Scale of hardness.
But you traded him out this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
That would have been a hard one to watch.
It was real hard to
because he
watch.
looked really good.
It
out there.
did look really good.
He did.
All right. We've got 4 weeks to go. So it is very important that you've got the best players in your team. And where can we find those?
Well, hopefully you've looked on the scale of hardness.
Oh, well, I did. But
Please don't.
the thing is, this is a very tight turnaround. The program that I put it into, it's still loading. there's-
right. Because of all your criteria.
Yeah, so it's not
Yeah.
exactly a tight. It's, you know how it's tight it usually is?
Yeah.
A little bit loose today.
I've witnessed
Little
you
bit late.
operating on this.
It's a big process, isn't
Criteria.
it? Criteria.
Very interesting.
There's lots of them, and they're always changing. Hence
Okay.
the rolling.
Right.
It's not
Changing
just
very-
because I'm Limp Bizkit fan or anything like that. Okay, so in the back line, we've got Doc, Sinclair, Dawson. Those three, very safe. They are the tightest part.
Doherty
now,
just quietly too. How well did he finish
amazing.
that game?
I think about a 56
'Cause
point
I
last
bought
quarter.
him in this week, and I'm just going, I've broken him.
He
Oi.
had 2 episodes, we'll
Oi.
call them, at the football today.
Yeah, oi.
He had a Doherty episode,
Yep.
flat as a tack.
Yep.
And then he had what I thought was a Sinclair episode,
Yep.
but it was actually that
Steele.
I don't have Steele
I never
episode.
thought I'd say this. I can't wait to get home to my family. Get away from Doc.
I had a 3rd episode, and that's that I had to sit next to him at the football. It was not a good
Jeez.
thing.
All right,
right
it's
so those three at the top.
Then I don't like the rest, really.
don't like
Chippy
them.
Chippy is still there,
Yeah.
and that's based on basically what he did weeks ago. Dacos is still there, and the guy holding a spot at the moment, and he's basically a placeholder, but Himmelberg is
Berg.
there.
I don't mind it. I like
with
it.
Tom Stewart just waiting to walk straight back
Yeah,
in,
of course.
basically. And Super Huey, I know he wasn't doing anything outstanding, but I love a guy at D6 that just hits 90s every week. And he showed in that last month before injury that he was the safest 90 going around. And his drawer, I've been talking up Cripper's green awesome drawer.
Yeah.
Huey's obviously a midfielder, and that's his draw as well. He would have bumped that 95 to up near 105.
So you
I
have
reckon.
looked at the scale.
I have. I
Yeah.
love it again now. Since it cost me a hat, I love it again.
All right, let's have a look then at the midfield.
It's not funny.
It is.
The midfield.
All right.
Who's in there?
Well, God, we all know this one. Rory Laird is he's killing it, and he will keep killing it because his drawer
I am pushing for the snap.
Well, the thing is, I don't like going early on him, and it's proven to be correct
Yes,
in
it
the past
has.
to
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just throw him out willy-nilly. But, geez, what if... So you can break the rule. So if he, finishes the year with all 120 pluses and he's put length on that record that he already now holds...
Yep.
If that
If
continues
you
by
break a
round
big
10, we can do
record-
it. We can do a mid-season one next year.
Next year.
Yes.
I
Dog.
like how he's being very conservative and firm
I
with
understand we need to do that, but
Calvin,
I'm
I've
like-
seen you do a lot of stupid things this weekend. This would be another one of them.
this. I think I'll have to be the judge of this one, and I'll factor in both of your opinions.
Think about how he's behaved this weekend.
There's
been pretty
some
good.
And listen to him now.
We've got Jack Steele now. Man of Steel was amazing. So
Yep.
we were talking about trade targets this week,
Yeah.
and you felt that Mills would have the better ceiling than Man of Steel.
Yeah, I did.
This round.
Yeah.
But what he was doing that he wasn't doing at the start of the year when he was $1 Million Man.
What was West Coast doing?
He was just leading back towards the ball.
Agree.
He was happy earlier on. He was still hitting his tons, but he was just sort of jogging from contest to contest to contest.
Yeah.
He was back wanting the ball in his hands, which was nice to see. And it's more like he looked at the end of last year where he came home averaging 130 or something over the second half
that
of
was
the
it. I think it
season.
was about 135,
Yeah.
pretty much from the bye,
Yes,
from memory.
and it looks like that is back. So he's comfortably at number 2. Mills at 3, Brayshaw, Merritt, how good is it to have that guy back?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, it's good to have him back.
Zach
come
Merritt.
Yeah.
What happens to him at the end of games, though?
Yeah, I don't know.
He
He
still doesn't
runs
move
out
a
of
lot.
gas.
Yeah.
No. So that's 2 weeks in a row. I think he would be averaging 10 points in the last quarter over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
But he's still pumping out good
Yeah.
score, so we'll give him that. The Took, he was good this week too with the
was very good.
120. I've got Oliver in there, and then that's where it stops pretty much. There's a big drop-off where I've still got from last week, I've still got Hugh McCluggage there based on the body of work he'd done over the last month with some really big scores. I was keen to put Walsh there, but I am just keeping an eye on that ankle.
What about Cripper then?
Oh, come on. You're trying to get him out the other day.
Yeah.
He has one good score.
It's going to continue, mate. I hate to tell you
It's
this.
not going to
It is
continue.
Look at
gonna
all their
continue.
green on the scale of hardness.
I agree with that. However, he's not... No, Roy, stop it.
And then you've got obviously McRae and Lockie Neal, who
Yep.
always deserve consideration.
Right, let's look at
Agreed.
the rucks then. Who have you nailed as your 2? Because this has changed, chopped and changed a bit over the last, few days.
It has to,
And
yeah.
and even across the year because things have changed.
I needed to see something from Max. I needed to see something. I
Yeah.
needed to see flexibility in his fingers to actually
Yeah.
hold on to the ball. And we saw that with his big 130. So Max is back to number 1 with Speakino sitting at number 2.
Yeah,
Tim English is
8
good.
marks. 8 marks.
Tim English is good number...
He is.
Yeah, he's good enough to be number 2 because we've seen the back of Sweet.
Yeah.
So he's gone. Sweetie's out. English is back and he's fine now.
All right, how you landed with the forwards?
It was pretty tough going, and the criteria, as I said, it's still loading in the background there. You can see the little circle.
It's
but
going about as
it's
slow
got a
as
rough
Calvin's head.
estimate here. And it goes Smith, Bont, Dunkley. One thing that has got those 3 so high, apart from the fact that, they're guns, is their last 2 games on the Star. So if you can make the prelim and the GF... it is significantly good games.
Yep.
It
Green?
comes home, real green. Yep.
Very green dog.
Like super green.
Super green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parker's in there for his safety. Cornelio's in there for obviously the form. He was bad. Oh, not bad. He hit about an 88 today,
alright.
but before that he's been awesome. And Mitch Duncan is still rounding it out because I can't just punish him off that one game. The criteria accept one bad game.
Yep.
But there's some big names knocking on the door now, and Taranto is one of them because he loved Josh Kelly being out today,
definitely.
and he was everywhere. Rowan Marshall is right there knocking on the door.
Yep.
Coming off a crook week, and he still managed to get that 108. Had near 50 hitouts today.
Yeah, he dominated.
So he'll add the marking to his tally over the next few weeks. Moore deserves a mention. He's been really good. And my boy, Connor Rosey. He deserves a mention just because he's been so good.
Jeez.
What?
That's scraping
He's
the
not
barrel.
in it. I'm just saying, well done. Keep it up, mate.
Keep it up.
I reckon Taranto should be a bit higher.
Well, he's the first one knocking on the door, mate. I can't just go, oh, well done, mate. It's been a while since you actually pumped out a really good
He likes
game
to
to get straight
treat
back
a
in.
man to keep him keen, don't you, Roy?
I certainly do. Yeah. You got to earn it.
How much in your scale, in that calculator you got going over the side there, has to do with who you've got in your side
Nothing.
and who you can afford?
Nothing. Zero. I
Really?
took those ones out of it. Yeah, I think of the people. Nah,
Look
so
at that.
that's where it's at the moment. But as I said, still loading. Could change.
They are, well, that is Roy's rolling 22. I think that could have some tweaks over the next couple of weeks as well. Possibly.
Definitely.
Most likely.
Definitely.
It will do. But you want to be trying to get the best players in your side for these last few
And what you sound
weeks.
like, you don't think they are?
I think it's close.
What? Out of 10?
At least a 5.
Oh, come on.
That's a 10, Roy.
Thanks,
I'll give it a 10, mate.
Thanks.
Beautiful. It is time for us to look at our top trades ahead of round 20, the first week of the fantasy finals for Toyota. Oh, what a feeling. So we're doing this very early.
Oh, very early.
So our the numbers that we've got in front of us for the most traded are probably they might change very quickly. However, let's look at what it's sitting at the moment. 2,000 coaches in like about half an hour brought in Max Gone. So I reckon that would be...
That's all they needed
Just
to
going.
see. Finger flexibility.
They said,
back.
see you later, Cameron. Bringing
Yep.
Max Gone. Elijah Hollins, Rowan Marshall's there as another option. Aaron
Yep.
Hall after his big return, and Jai Cully. So Cully and Hollins, who I think they're your downgrade options. Obviously, Hollins is cheaper, and he was really good. Scored 64 on
was
debut.
good,
He looks
yeah.
really good. So hopefully they keep him in the side. But yeah, Cully, his form is great. He's going to stay in the Eagles side.
He's a big
100%.
unit too.
He is.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
kept
bigger
on
than I
watching him. He was
thought.
just in the guts the whole
Every
time.
time,
100%. Yeah,
He
his
was good.
CBAs would have been through the roof.
So, Doug, what are you doing with your trades?
Hang on, I've got to talk about the outs, Calvin, because
Go.
that's how this goes.
Do
So,
it then.
Darcy Cameron is the most traded out with 3,500 coaches going bang already.
I reckon.
So
Wow.
that is pure rage
That's
trading
anger.
when you're doing
Isn't it
that
ever?
here. Then it's Paddy Parnell, Luke Jackson, Jacob Ware, and Jake Saligo. So some of those rookies, or your Jackson there, that you know it's time to finish that experiment off, and that's where they're going. So, Calvin, now you can ask me.
What are you doing with your trades,
What am I
Warren?
doing with my trades? Thanks for asking. So I'm going Cameron to Gone. I'm doing basically the vanilla move that it will be.
It
But I
will,
think it's
yep.
a smart move to do with that at the moment. And I'll go Sam Butler down to Hollins, which gives me another little bit on the bench and a few dollars.
Yeah. So I'll go McComb to Hollands.
Yep.
That'll be a little bit of a cash grab. And Cameron. Yeah, I was one of those guys pressing that trade button so quick, probably cracked my phone screen. Cameron to Max. Cash in the bank.
Good. Smart. How are you going to stuff yours up this week then,
I
Calvin?
want to go Cameron to Juicy Prusy.
Do it then.
Legit.
Please do it.
I still might, but at the moment I'll go Cameron to Marshall, who's
Yeah.
been fantastic last week.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Petrarca to Steele.
Oh,
Right.
Sick of the Petrarca.
hell yeah.
Yeah, so
that is just a
the man
massive
of.
upgrade.
You must have a
Massive
lot of
upgrade.
coin.
Got a lot of coin in the bank, mate. Don't you worry about
Well
that.
done.
Thank you. That's how I roll.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, what, you're holding Trelaw?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
No, he's fine. He plays, mate.
You better
I
hope
can't
so.
wait for Thursday night then when we've got our teams stream, when we're looking at that and seeing who's going to be out for Team Calvinator and how all of these plans that you've got here. Hot tip, Roy. He won't be getting Jack Stew inside.
I don't think so.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official.
All right, let's look at our Twitter questions. We've got a few that have already popped through, so we'll answer these as well as we can. Calvin, I probably won't give too many towards you.
Send 'em my way, mate.
Someone, 05, Joshy wants to know, is Cully fieldable as F6? Now, you sort of mentioned this before.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I did say that I don't think it is the ideal thing to
No.
do, but I think you could do way worse. And then when you see premiums like Petrarca, Duncan, the scores, you might as well just get one of those from a rookie if need be. So
If you need to.
It's not highly recommended. I won't go that far, but it could be serviceable depending what you do on the flip side.
Second part of Josh's questions, do I go steal or spend up for Laird?
That's a tough one.
You just spend.
Do you?
You got to go to the top.
He's gone to $1.06 million.
Wow.
And I'll give you a hot tip. Your weekends aren't really enjoyable without him.
I agree.
So that's an issue. His run home is good as well.
He goes Carlton, West Coast, North Melbourne.
Oh, my God. How am I supposed to get any sleep
You can't.
without owning him?
No, you need
But
Rory Laird.
The common sense guy then in me goes, it's got to be Steele.
Yeah.
He's got a good draw as well, and he's so much cheaper.
But it's Rory Laird.
Possibly.
He's getting snouted at the end of the year, Roy.
I know.
Next year.
End of the year.
If he can start next year well.
All right,
Now,
next
Skippy wants to
question.
know, obvious question is who am I bringing in to replace Cameron at Ruck? So he's saying Gone and English are on the never again list.
Oh,
You can't do that.
I'll be the judge of that.
Can't do that.
Then go Juicy.
Already have Marshall. So is Juicy the
Yes,
next
he
best option
is.
there?
As if you'd have those two on a never again list and Juicy's got away scot-free.
You've
That
got
is
it.
not possible.
So if you're going to split him, and it probably goes off Roy's rolling 22, you're going Gone ahead of English.
Yes, I am.
Why are
Price
you
is
so
similar.
against Juicy?
Why?
Yeah.
Have you seen what he does to
Oh,
people?
yeah, no, I'm an owner, mate. I've owned it.
He's ruined everything
so
this year.
That
He's
would be
just a big brute.
the third time. This will be the third time this year he has done it to you.
He's a ton.
I want
Every
you to
time
do
he
it.
plays, he's a ton.
He had about 30 at half time.
Yep.
And he tonned up.
That's what he does.
You're only as good as your last half.
I just don't understand why he hates him so
He's
much.
doing a 140 next week.
I think everyone listening today is going to be understanding why I hate him so much.
No,
He
I know. I
broke
get
everything.
It. I get it.
He did. Yeah, he did break everything.
Everything.
Jack Kelly, is Bailey Smith one of the best options going into the first week of finals as he's still keeping his CBAs up and looks really good around the ground?
Yeah, I think his time on ground is going to keep tracking in the right direction
Agreed.
as well. So, he's elite, and it's hard to split those guys at the top there, but I have put him number one. So, yes, I am a fan of bringing in Bailey Smith.
Now,
100%.
Jack's got this question. Can I get rid of Petrarca
Yes.
or do you upgrade Cameron or Cripps first?
Geez, that's a tough one.
It's Cameron for me. He scored 30. And Grundy is closer than he was
I know.
this week.
Do you know what the problem is here? It's because I can totally relate to that. It's your expectation of Petrarca.
Yeah.
That's the problem here.
Yep.
Like, and if you're at near give up point like I am, it's like, oh well, Darcy, you just do your little thing there.
Okay.
Petrarca, I don't want to look at that. I expect 120s. I see 60s.
I don't want to keep coming back to the scale of hardness, right?
Yep.
But we will.
Yep.
Because that was a red game for Petrarca.
Yeah.
This week is a red game, and then he's got
So you trade him out then?
Collingwood
After that,
in 2 weeks' time.
oh, can you hang around for it?
No.
I
don't think you
nah,
can.
you got to keep the name in,
Yep.
in this one. Cameron's the
Cameron
one that
goes
has to
first.
go.
Cameron just has to go.
Cameron
I think
has
that's
to
a
go.
100% trade out. You
Yeah.
need to do that.
He got 30.
He got 30. Oh, my God.
David's then got this question. Would you go Cameron to Gone or Petrarca to Mills?
It's Cameron,
Cameron to
gone.
gone.
Yeah. All day, every day.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Brody, Sarong or Cameron, who goes first? Don't think I can get rid of both at the same time.
Okay, so here's the thing. Grundy plays next week.
I think they'll
So our
get him.
sources were he's 2 weeks away unless something happens in the second week where they need to basically rush him back.
Which something happened in that second week.
Yeah.
A 34-point
It
game.
did.
4
Cameron
disposals.
didn't turn up.
But they won.
They rush him back in next week. I reckon Cameron gets dropped, Roy. It'll be a Grundy-Cox combo next
He
week.
has been
Really?
part of like an 8-game winning streak.
Yeah, well, do you want me to source it?
Yeah.
I could source it.
All right.
I'll let you know.
Yep.
I'll source it
Okay.
up.
We'll find that out on
That
Thursday
could be a
night.
nice
Then I
little
reckon.
squirt for
It
us.
would be an
actually.
amazing
That
squirt.
would be a good scoop.
Got to be dropped after 4 touches, Roy.
Not necessarily, not if you've done that in
Yeah,
such a winning streak.
I hear.
Now, Adrian wants to know, he's upgrading DC and Jed Anderson. Upgrade DC, Jed Anderson and Baker. So one of those two out of that. Or upgrade Baker and downgrade a rookie. So Baker's an issue for him.
Baker's got to go. You can't have Baker.
No.
No, that's got to go.
Baker's got to go.
So it's probably Darcy Cameron and Baker with what
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
But then that downgrade to a rookie, if that was that move to play Cully, for
This
example.
is a situation.
Which then gets Baker to a
Yep.
big dog.
Yeah, like some people have copped so many injuries that's the best they've been able to scramble together
Yeah.
at the moment. If you are in a position like that, playing Cully
Yep.
and hoping for a 70 plus and at least getting a proper premium for one of those other guys,
See, Warney
that's
can't,
okay.
Warney can't relate to that because he hasn't had an injury yet.
No, it's the little people. He
Yeah.
doesn't talk to the little people.
He doesn't understand.
Talks to the top.
Yeah.
Had
500
injuries
sort
this
of people.
week. I'd Hewitt.
Well, we're
At
not
our-
talking
at our
about your
show the
injuries,
other
dog.
day-
We're
at our-
talking about your lack of respect for anyone with a bad ranking.
At our show the other day, he only spoke to Selby. He wouldn't talk to anyone else.
I noticed.
Him and Selby just hung out in their little corner.
I noticed.
He was asking me for some advice. That's what the thing was. Right. John, since I got Gone, Hey, legends.
Since
Any
I got
plans?
gone.
That's his.
I like that.
Twitter handle.
Can you sing that?
No, I think I've done it before.
Have you?
And
Yeah, I would have
won't
enjoyed
do
it, I
again.
reckon.
You're a peanut. Hey, legends. Any plans to move on short and crisp?
Okay.
Well, crisp is in the rolling.
Yeah, he is at the
That's
moment.
amazing, really.
Yeah, yeah.
What did he drop an 80 this week?
There's
82,
not
I think
much
it was.
there, though, Roy.
No, there's not.
No.
Like I said, it's
So
those
then it's
top
an-
3 and then it's daylight.
So then you just have to roll with him because you have to roll with him.
I think so. If you were going him
Unless you-
up
yeah.
to one of those
Yeah.
top 2.
The big three.
Yeah.
Are the ones you want. But then the top 2 are probably a little bit clearer than Dawson because of the tags that he's copped.
Correct.
But then
What did Sinclair have
Stinkler
to
sucked today.
Oh, jeez.
What about...
Just don't
okay,
touch your defenders.
Can I just...
Yeah, please tell this story.
No, we're
How did
moving on.
Sinclair start the game?
Oh, on fire.
He was
an
on fire.
absolute
And
jet.
And what was the feedback
Oh.
in regard to the way he plays?
The atmosphere amongst the
He's
crew.
just amazing. Sinclair's just amazing. Look how they always look for it. Look how he gets to the best spot. Look how he reads the intercept. And then by the end,
grumpy dog.
As I said, having to sit
Grumpy.
next to Calvin was
Jeez,
not a
he
good
chucked
thing.
us.
Sinclair went from hero to zero.
How long's this flight tonight, dog?
Yeah,
God, I
I'll actually
hope I'm not
put
next
you
to you.
in row 30 when I book those tickets. All right. Who goes first here for Logan? Cameron, Darcy, 2 different people
Oh,
there,
wow.
or Anderson? Cameron goes ahead of Darcy, but Darcy was bad. That was a 60.
He was very bad.
He was.
I think
But-
Darcy, like I've been saying this too many times now, but Cameron has to go first.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and go, oh my God, that is extraordinarily bad.
Yeah.
Are you capable of being that bad?
Yeah.
Well, then if you are, you have to go.
4 touches.
Yeah. I've seen him dominate this year.
Yeah.
What if he must be sick? Everyone else is sick.
Yeah, there's something wrong with
He
him.
must be sick.
Yeah.
Finn wants to know how to remove a curse. Well, Calvin, you've had a captain's curse that got lifted
Yeah, I got rid of it.
when you just decided to pick the best player in the comp as your
Yeah,
number
that
one
helps.
pick.
Is that
does
what he
help.
needs to do?
Traded out Anderson when he scored 140.
Yep.
Traded out Dacos when he scored 146.
Oh,
dear.
And then Witts this week and he scored a 121.
Oh,
Right.
dear.
You just give up. Don't push on. That's it, mate.
Delete.
Yeah,
See you
delete
next
team.
year.
See you next year.
Will wants to know, do you hold Redmond?
Well,
Hopefully he's right to play, but...
no, you don't.
You
hold
don't?
it. No, you don't hold that.
Right, okay.
We're at this point of the year where we've all got 2
His
trades.
numbers have been epic.
They have been.
What's his run like?
But-
I would actually look at the scale because if he's got easy matchups, he's got a really good ceiling. But I wouldn't have ever personally gone and grabbed
Right.
him.
Oh, he's got North
That's
Melbourne.
smart.
He's got North Melbourne.
It's far from smart.
He's got North Melbourne this
Yeah.
week.
He will have a field day.
Oh
if
my
he's
goodness. If he's okay, yeah, he's going to
Yeah,
be
hold.
good.
It's a hold if he's okay.
That's a 110 plus.
I would think
without
so.
even.
Yeah.
Here's a pretty easy one to tick off. Darcy Cameron down to Bruce.
Yes, yes.
Hoff up to Doherty.
What?
I would tick that off.
What, the Bruce one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hoff up to Doherty.
Yeah.
That's
But
elite.
this is the thing. On the other side of that horrendous trade, there could be good things.
Yeah.
He's
Still.
the cheapest of the options that could go 90 plus the rest of the year.
Juice goes nuts from here on in. He's got Sydney this week, who are a
They've been very easy.
dark green team.
Yeah.
He smashes them, and I'm not going to say 150, but maybe 110.
Oh, and Hickey even hurt himself,
Yeah,
didn't
he will have a day out.
he? Oh, boy.
Yes, he'll kill 5 people. However, he will have a day out.
If he doesn't... If someone pays bail, he'll still be able to play the
He'll be
next
right.
week.
He's not an abductor.
Noah wants to know, what happens first, Sick Dog to Sinclair or Mitchell up to Merritt? Interesting one. So this is pure sideways luxury
what was the
trade
first
type.
part?
So Sick Dog to Sinclair
Oh, yeah.
and Mitchell to Merritt.
I think
Mitchell was
it's-
back, wasn't he? Did he?
Titch was
turned
good.
up for you,
Well,
didn't he?
it's back in terms of what all we can hope for.
Yeah.
So he had a little 100, a little cute 106 type.
Yeah,
thing.
I think it's to Merritt. I think you jump off that.
Merritt's
Yeah.
probably got 20 on him.
Yep.
And
Does
he's a captain
Sinclair have?
option.
Does Sinclair have 20 on?
Oh, yes,
Sick
probably.
Dog?
Yeah, to be honest.
And Sick Dog's got St Kilda this week.
They're both
are-
they're both good upgrades, but they're very similar upside in both. Sorry, what were you saying?
Sick Dog's got St Kilda this week, who are one of the easiest teams to score against for defenders, so he
Okay,
should be fine.
we're going
So
to-
think about Hayden Young, Luke Ryan, those guys had massive scores this week against St Kilda. There you go.
Okay.
Booyah.
Who had what? They didn't even play him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah.
Who?
Freo
Yeah.
played against St Kilda this week. Didn't they?
What game did you just literally sit at the ground and watch?
I don't know. Keep
You've
going.
lost the plot.
Who'd they play?
This
Anyway,
is why you don't
next
trust
question.
anything that this comes out of this man's mouth. Right, so we're looking at this one here, Hollands or Cumberland. So Hollands had his 64. He's at 217K, and then Cumberland is at 331, so a fair bit more.
It's
at
Hollands.
331.
You saved
But
the money.
Did you see what he did? Dominated. So he scored 71, which
Hollands.
I felt like he dominated. So made an error at the end, didn't he?
A little one, but Hollands is the man.
Yeah, I think
We've,
you go that.
we've loved Hollands since the start of the year.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
keep loving him.
Warner or Dylan Moore, who is it? Obviously Dylan Moore as a forward. Warner, he was good. He did everything we expected him to.
They are both great options.
They are.
So Moore, given his forward status, he's actually, like I said, he's in the mix for the Roland 22.
Yeah.
Warner's straight mid, isn't he?
Yes,
yeah.
he would be.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's never going to make the top 8, but if you're looking at head-to-head points, they're probably similar enough to say hide more forward. I'd probably hide behind that one because they're like splitting hairs.
And the run of Warner with GWS, North Melbourne, Collingwood, that's pretty elite.
That's elite. So what's Moore's?
Moore will go with St Kilda, Gold Coast, Richmond, Bulldogs. So
I don't love it. That might actually...
So Warner has the better run.
Yeah, if you're not worried about having to lose a mid spot there,
Yeah.
that's Warner.
Nice. Just got a little text, a little squirt
Oh.
from
Love a
Footy
squirt.
Rhino.
Oh,
we like
Rhino's on.
these ones.
Well, he's the fantasy journalist of the year.
He is. Caught up with him while we're over here. He's a legend. Now, got a squirt for you.
Oh, here we go.
I finished 9th overall for the week. That's what he wanted to tell us. So he said a couple more still tackles as skipper and he would have won it.
Really?
That's a good round.
That is.
Well
very
done,
good.
Rhino.
He's not only the fantasy journo of the year, he's up there as a coach.
That's pretty good, Roy.
Yeah, but that tells me he's been keeping some cards close to his chest.
Yeah, I bet he has.
Take that
All
certificate
right,
right
Jay
back off him.
wants to know, can you risk haul this time of year? A little bit like the Bruce question,
Oh,
I suppose. We've got 4 weeks to get through. Yeah.
There were people 2 or 3 weeks ago that thought they could risk haul for the remainder of the year.
Yeah,
and what they
yeah.
get?
And he did what we expected.
8%
Yep.
time on ground.
Yep.
So can you trust that? No. The answer has to be no.
He was a late in.
But if you love
There is risk,
living and dying by the sword,
but you could get 4 weeks out of him.
he is the definition of high risk, high reward.
Is this
here.
what he needs to do to get this hat?
Well, you do need to do something.
No.
Yes. You got to be a little bit ballsy here, dog.
No, I can't be. I'll play the straight bat because I don't want to fall out of the top 1,000.
Why? What do you get? A top
do you get?
1,000 pat on the head?
No, just it looks better with 3 numbers than 4.
Oh, do you care that much
Nah.
about that? Chase the
Dog,
glory.
you're doing the wrong thing, mate.
Because I work on averages.
Look,
I
we've got people here.
average-
We're going to have a vote.
Yeah.
Just, dog, hands up for chasing the glory.
Yeah.
I'm too many points away. That's the thing.
Nah, we're doing it.
Yeah, you got to chase, dog.
Good on you, dog.
Well done,
About
dog.
time
There we
you
go.
manned
Let's
up
go.
a little bit. Good
No.
on you.
He still
All
wouldn't
right.
do it.
Really, Chase?
Manny
Straight bat, dog.
wants to know.
Boring.
I still want to win our league as well.
What do you get for that?
Just ego
Oh,
against you.
you
I
got
don't
enough
need any
ego.
of that.
All right, short to Stewart. That'd be a nice move.
Yeah.
It would, yeah.
Or Guthrie to Steele.
That's nice too.
That is nice.
I think I'd be Guthrie to Steele.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Like, Steele's built different.
He is.
He is.
So you
and
need
he's
him.
coming back for the ball, Roy.
He is.
He wasn't doing that at the start.
He's back to second half of last year, like we
Yeah.
said. Yeah, get Steele in.
Uh,
Can I just say
Yeah,
something with
go.
that? When you are within reach of these guys who are a bit special,
Yep.
you just do it and
do
worry about the rest later, I
Yep.
think. That'll be my philosophy moving forward next year.
That's very
Just get them.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
That's very
you're
good.
welcome. It's my job.
Jay wants to know this one here. Taranto or Marshall? Now, neither made the rolling 22, did they?
Right.
No, but they're both knocking hard on the door.
Taranto was good again.
Why again? He wasn't
Well-
great last week, was he?
Oh, you have a week off.
No, I don't know. Is that back-to-back tons?
So he had a 123 this week, 30 touches.
What did he have the week before that? Little 100.
I'm just double checking now, Roy. He had
Or an 80 something.
An 85.
Yeah, that's the one.
So, but he's turned up 3 out of his last 4.
Yeah. No, he's a very good player. Don't
Yep.
get me wrong. But if you have to split him and number one Ruck Marshall,
okay.
who is it?
That's probably Marshall,
Is it?
I reckon.
I think they're both great. How long's Josh Kelly out for? Because he did seem
It's
to
only
have a lot more
He had
freedom.
1 week with concussion.
Oh, concussion.
Yeah. Thing is with Marshall, like he had a quiet patch today.
Yes.
And he still turns up.
Yeah.
Easy. Like,
Yeah.
he's legit.
Okay, so both great options though.
Best defender to bring in, Doc and Sinclair already got him. Is it then the number 3 you've got on your list?
Yeah.
Dawson?
Has to be.
Yep.
I think that the tags are going to dry up. He's actually had a horror run of teams that like to tag those back flanks.
Yep.
All right. I think that's where we're at, boys.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Our
Good
voices
work,
got
Warren.
through this, which is positive.
It did.
Thank you
For
No.
what?
You're welcome, Doug.
for being here.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
surviving.
That was a moment of weakness.
You're
It was.
Warren, he's
Thanks
saying
everyone for
thank
coming
you.
along, and
He only
we
ever
met
thanks himself.
a lot of legends over the last few days, and big thanks to everyone that's looked after us. Probably too many to name. Big special shout out to Reese, who got us into the field club.
That was an awesome
Oh, wow.
experience.
Yeah,
that was cool.
really
Thank
good.
And pork belly.
Highly recommended.
And the nice thing about being in the field club, we shot our mate little Harry Edwards a text.
We did.
Little big Harry Edwards, because he's a lot bigger than us.
It's a big year.
Because he finished 8th overall last year, and because he was employed by the AFL as a player, he was disqualified and therefore didn't win a hat.
Ooh, that's a joke.
So I found a 2020 hat that they sent us. It's like something to put on our desk. And
Did you
that.
sew his number into it or
Well,
something? Or
we'll
a
go-
patch?
I-
Iron on a patch?
We were thinking about like getting some of Cal's strap and tape and just making it out of that, because
good.
that
Fair
fixes
enough.
everything.
Of course,
So-
I love some tape.
We'll call it a temporary hat for him. We've
Yeah.
got to get the number on it.
We've got to get
But
that
at least
out.
we got
And
him a hat.
Yeah.
Does
He
that
looked
mean,
happy with it. He
does
looked
that
happy.
mean if I win a hat, I'm not allowed to get it?
Yep.
No, you're not employed. You've been sacked already, Calvin, after your behaviour. So thanks very much for tuning in. We'll be back on Thursday night and hopefully rested up, ready to go for the first week of the fantasy finals, which is exciting.
It is
Oh,
exciting.
big time.
through.
Yeah, it's big. That's where it's at.
All right. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Thanks very much, Perth.